Good morning, friends. How are you? I hope you're doing very well today. It is 8:30 Wednesday morning. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30, just bringing you a little bit of encouragement and a simple tip to build a strong and healthy life on. Welcome to my office. This is my office in case you've never seen it. This is my little desk tucked in the stairs and where the stairs go around. It's a perfect little space. So I hope you guys are doing great. Good morning, Sharon. How are you? Well, I did it. I got a coffee injury, you guys. Good morning, Kyle. Are you okay? Oh man, you guys should have seen Kyle at this competition, CrossFit competition. Oh my gosh, Kyle, that video made me nervous. Anyway, look, I got a coffee injury. I know we say coffee is elixir of life here, but I mean, my goodness. Good morning, Erica. How are you? And of course, a Star Wars Band-Aid. So what kind of Band-Aids do you guys have at your house? I think we have Star Wars. I had to choose between Star Wars, Barbie, and Disney. So what kind of Band-Aids do you guys have? I know you have some. Well, Libby said Star Wars. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to just jump right in. Good morning, Melanie. Today, you are going to have about 400 billion things going on in your brain. Think about that. 400 billion actions going on in your brain in one day. And we have to learn, what do we pay attention to and what do we not pay attention to? There's so much information coming at us all the time that you have to kind of learn how to sort through everything. And here's the deal, is that your brain is so fantastic because it narrows it down to about 1 to 2 thoughts a day. Kyle, good morning. I'm good. It was just some temporary pain. I know, but oh my gosh, it made me nervous. Sandra, good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you, Sharon. So your brain is awesome because it actually narrows down your thoughts to about 1 to 2 thoughts per second, which is pretty phenomenal with all of that stuff going on. But we have to learn how to pay attention to what thoughts we should pay attention to. And one of the thoughts that we should pay attention to is our inner voice. And I posted something by Steve Jobs the other day, and it said, don't let the noise of other people's opinions drown out the sound of your inner voice. I don't know about you guys, but how many times have I let the things that people are saying around me influence my inner voice? Good morning, Carrie, I see you. My inner voice. But we have to learn how to listen to that. You guys, your inner voice speaks to you, and you guys know, hey, am I dating the right person? Is this guy or this girl going to be good for me? Like, you know, deep inside, your inner voice is talking to you about those things. Is this a good choice or a bad choice? Is this a good business deal or a bad business deal? You guys know this, and you feel this. But sometimes we get to the point where we're not listening to our inner voice anymore. Part of it could be either that so many people have shouted so many things to you that it's overtaken your ability to hear your inner voice. And part of it could also be sometimes if there's something that we want to do and our inner voice is telling us not to do it, we can sometimes even harden our hearts so that we stop hearing that inner voice and we stop hearing the whispers that are inside of us. And so if you're not hearing it, that maybe those two things, the other thing it could be is that you might not have trained your ear to listen. And that's the deal, is like, if you don't know what that voice sounds like, how are you going to know to listen? And so what I did, and I'm a faith-based person, you could do this without being a faith-based person if you're not, but what I did was I spent 1 year, and every day I would sit down and I would ask God, speak to me one word, and I would just listen. I would be quiet, and I would sit there in the space and I would listen for one word and I would write it down. That's all, one word every day. And it was interesting because that word came to symbolize something in my life usually on that day. And so that is one way that you can train your mind to listen for that inner voice, because you need to. You need that intuition. You need that gut feeling. You need that. There's so many words for it. Some people call it intuition. Some people call it my gut feeling. Some people call it the voice of God. Some people call it like the Holy Spirit. Some people call it your conscience. But it's that thing inside you that says that you have the capacity, that you have this greatness inside of you, that you know which way to go, that it's right or wrong, or you even know, like when I just knew that we were supposed to move up to Napa, it just was something inside, this voice inside that was like, you're supposed to move there. And I couldn't explain it. I couldn't put my finger on it. I never heard something say that to me, but I just knew. And so I encourage you this morning to listen. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to that thing inside of you that is pointing you and guiding you in the direction, which way to go, and develop those listening skills by paying attention. So, you could even practice, like before you go to do something, you could say, what should I say to this person? and listen to what comes up in your spirit, you guys. And sometimes you will have something to say that's going to blow their mind or reach them right where they're at because it's far beyond you. And, you know, that happens all the time when we get to pray for people. You know, on Sundays I get to pray for people, and I just always am trying to listen, like what's coming to my mind. And most of the time it's going to be something that you're not thinking about. So it would be a thought out of the blue. So most of the time it's going to be like, I'm thinking about, you know, Oreo cookies, and all of a sudden this thought is like, oh, you should call your mom tonight. Then you guys listen to that. You should call your mom tonight. That's telling you something. And we have to cultivate that. We have to listen to it. Good morning, Linda. Good to see you. We can't negate that, because the more that we push that voice aside, the less we're going to hear it. So I encourage you to listen to it. Oh, I forgot my book that I was going to read you. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So anyway, I just wanted to read you this piece. Good morning, Erica, from Stephen Pressfield in The War of Art. It's my favorite part, and I know I've read it to you a couple times, and it's about listening to that inner voice and not being afraid to listen to it. It says, this is the chapter, and it says, resistance feeds on fear. We experience resistance as fear, but fear of what? Fear of the consequences of following our heart, fear of bankruptcy, fear of poverty, fear of insolvency, fear of groveling when we try to make it on our own, and of groveling when we give up and come crawling back to where we started. Fear of being selfish, fear of being rotten wives or disloyal husbands, fear of failing to support our families, of sacrificing their dreams for ours, fear of failure, fear of betraying our race, our hood, our homies, fear of being ridiculous, fear of throwing away the education, the training, the preparation that those we love have sacrificed so much for, that we ourselves have worked our butts off for, the fear of launching into the world, of hurtling too far out there, the fear of passing some point of no return, beyond which we cannot recant, cannot reverse, cannot rescind, but must live with this cocked up choice for the rest of our lives. The fear of madness, fear of insanity, fear of death. These are serious fears, but they're not the real fear. Not the master fear. Not the mother of all fears that's so close to us that even when we verbalize it, we don't believe it. Fear that we will succeed. That we can access the powers we secretly know that we possess, that we can become the person we sense in our hearts that we truly are. You have that sense of greatness inside of you. This is the most terrifying prospect a human being can face, because it ejects him at one go, he imagines, from all the inclusions his psyche is wired for and has been for 50 million years. We fear discovering that we are more than we think we are, more than our parents and children and teachers think we are. We fear that we actually possess the talent that our still small voice tells us. That we actually have the guts, the perseverance, and the capacity, and we fear that we can truly steer our ship and plant our flag and reach our promised land. And we fear this because if it's true, then we become estranged from all that we know. And I love that part. We fear that we actually possess the talent that our still small voice tells us that we do. Listen, your still small voice is going to give you clues to your dreams. It's going to give you clues to your greatness. And we have to listen to that voice, because we can't shut it out, because you are destined for greatness. I love Chad Beach shared this on Sunday, that you are destined for greatness. You need to believe that small voice inside you, Kyle, that says, I can win this CrossFit competition. I am a champion. Erica, that says, I can make a difference in somebody's life today. We need to believe that voice inside that is telling us that we have that greatness, that voice that pushes us on and moves us forward. And don't hesitate to believe it just because it's scary. It is scary to believe that voice, but it is true. And so, let's see, Kyle said, I just read that part Monday night and finished the book. Yes. That same part spoke to me louder than probably any other of the book. I agree. That is my favorite part of this book, because you start to realize, oh my gosh, it is true. It doesn't make sense, but it's true. Erica, yes, the greatest fear is actually being what your still small voice inside tells you that you can be. The dreams that you have, the goals that you have, it's actually becoming that is one of our greatest fears. But listen, this is for you today. You have greatness inside of you. This is the day that you can awaken that greatness and step into it and believe it, and believe who you're meant to be. Believe that you have a destiny, you have a purpose, and there's a plan for your life here on this earth, and you are destined to do great works and powerful things that were planned out long before you were born. So just go out there today, listen to that still small voice, practice listening to it, and know that you are awesome. You are destined for great things, and I totally believe it, and I hope you believe it too. And just be your fullest potential that you can be. All right, I love you guys. I hope you have an awesome day today. May your minds be fierce, and your heart brave, and your spirit kind. Love you. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to hear. I know it, girl. Sarah, hey, Sarah and Erica, I should hook you guys up. I think you're right in the same area around Orlando. Yes, thank you, Sarah. Yes, it is the hardest thing to hear, but it is true. All right, love you all. Bye.